Today is Wednesday, September 22nd, and today I'm finally back doing some clean work, specifically hang power cleans. Combining that with power jerks as well, since previously what I did was I would do power jerks out of the rack, and then I would do the hang power cleans after, separately, as like two different exercises. But since since I think my wrist was feeling better enough to at least try these, and two, since doing jerks out of the rack is not as, how should I say? It's much harder to do out of the rack when there's no platform or safe place to drop the weight from, and so definitely harder to do in the racks here at Stanford. So that's the reason for combining them. Also, just because I think combining them just makes good practice, because I'm going to have to do them in succession anyways. But yeah, I just sort of, with these hang power cleans, I was just feeling things out and seeing how my wrist felt. The last time I tried this, which is 2 weeks ago, my wrist started hurting at 185, even with wraps on. But things have, I think, gotten better since then. And so I gauged out 185, no pain at all, 205, no pain at all, 225, no pain at all. And even there, I think I was expecting the bar to come up a little higher, and so my elbows were a little bit lower, which presumably requires my wrist to be cocked back more. But even so, there was no pain or no issues at all. And yeah, 225 felt really light, even after not having done any sort of clean for a week and a half, 2 weeks, something like that. But yeah, I had 3 to 5 sets of 1+1 of these hang power cleans plus power jerks. But I went ahead and just did all 5, even though I didn't have any misses from the first 3. I probably could have stopped just at the first 3, but since there was no issues with the wrist, and I hadn't done cleans in a while, I just wanted to get the extra practice in. But it's interesting because here is probably the first time that I had more confidence in my jerk than the clean. Not because, I was like, oh, I can't clean this, but more so because I was just more wary of my wrist on the clean than the jerk. Because I have been jerking for the last, I haven't stopped with the jerk work. I've just been doing it out of the rack. And the last highest power jerk I did was a double at 245, and so with 225 I was like, yeah, this is easy, and most of the jerks felt easy. So yeah, kind of interesting, because I want to get to the point where my jerks, I don't want to say are more solid than my cleans, but my cleans are so far ahead of my jerks right now that it honestly kind of doesn't matter what I'm able to clean, because the jerk will always be the limiting factor. But I want to get to a point where if I can clean it, I know I can jerk it. And that's sort of, this is the closest that I've felt to that feeling, I guess. Obviously, I'm working with pretty light weight, but just in principle, it was a cool feeling to have, I think. And then afterwards, moved on to clean deadlifts with a slowed down eccentric, really trying to feel for the right positions that I need to be in on the ascent, and just thinking about the screenshots that are important. Obviously I'm also trying to hit those positions on the way up, because that's where it's important, but I'm also trying to sort of get another feel for those positions on the descent. And yeah, I started at 10%. Yeah, 10% of my best clean and jerk, which is 275, and then that number came out to be 305. Pretty solid. I feel like I could clean this if I was I don't know if me being peaked is that important, but I feel like I could hit this if I was having a really good day. But would I be able to jerk it? No. So in that sense, I guess it doesn't matter. And then I did these jerk lockouts. So these felt pretty weird. It definitely reinforced the idea that I need to place the bar exactly where I think it needs to be placed, because here, I think it's this row, yeah. I sort of rush the setup and I start pushing with the bar slightly in front. It's not in front of me, it's just slightly in front of where it should be, and that like already screws me up, and I'm not able to hold on to it. I think this second set was my best set. Probably. I do the least amount of moving around here. Yeah, I didn't include the videos, but I warmed up from the plates to 185 to 225 to 245 and then this. But they were definitely much easier to like do, even if I'm in the wrong position or not the best position. It was easier to like not have to shimmy around with the lighter weight. But yeah, I think this will make for really good practice. Although at the beginning, I think I definitely was getting a little bit of weird looks from people, like setting up the bar that high and then putting the weights that high. I'm sure there were people wondering what the hell I was doing, but I guess I'm just at a point where I don't really care, unless it like bothers someone, but I feel like it shouldn't at all. But yeah, did those. I think those are going to be really helpful. And I did bent over rows and then double overhead walks. There's actually enough space for me to do these here. I don't know if this is the best place, but yeah, it was enough room. So yeah, and then called it a day. That was my last accessory. But yeah, pretty solid day.